a number of years. I don't even know how many. The 5X, that is Tim Richardson. Tim Richardson back out here in the 5X. He is a man on a mission most nights. Quite the driver, that is for sure, behind the wheel of the 5. Last week's feature winner, Joel Dick in the 9D. The 09D. Outside of him, we've got Justin Mills in the 6M. We were supposed to have Brian Spielman in the 22S. He obviously just got done. Not sure if he will make the call jumping into that car. The 5C, another driver back to the racetrack. Haven't been here in quite some while. Bob Chapman. Bob Chapman in the 5C car. And Chris Fiddler in that 33 car. Now, Chris was the gentleman that we talked about. Pretty cool story with that car. He's a race car guy from Saskatchewan, believe it or not. His hometown is Saskatchewan. Now he is down in the Windsor area for the summertime for work. Heavy equipment operator, so he is down there doing some work, found out about the racetrack, got the race car put together. So for the summer, he is going to hang out here and come racing with us every Saturday night. So glad to see him. Like I say, hometown is Saskatchewan, or in Saskatchewan, but he is here to come into race. Chris Fiddler in that 33 car in heat race number 1. Like we said, a couple of these guys, gentlemen, I remember seeing a number of years ago. Tim Richardson, a staple in our modified division here, many nights watching him do battle with a lot of different cars. Tim from the Tilbury area, another gentleman, as we mentioned, Bob Chapman from the Kingsville area. Back behind the wheel of a modified, him in that 5C car. A couple 5s in our class. He's got a few years experience, it says here on a sheet, and I believe he's been around for quite some time. So, couple veterans, if you will, here in heat race number. Join the tail end of this field in the 22S. So, 6 cars ready to go. Joel Dick, Justin Martin on the front row. Tim Richardson, Brian Spielman, second row. And row number 3, we've got the 5C of Bob Chapman and the 33 of Chris Fiddler. Ready to go for Shinkles Gourmet Meats Heat Race number 1. Caution still out. Caution is still out. Track clear, looking good, ready to go. Flags will point to the flag stand as they come down through 1 and 2, which means get them ready to go, boys. We are coming to green this time by Mills and Dick, leading them down the back stretch. Down out of 3 and 4 they come one more time, and we are ready to go green. Green out off into 1 and 2. Everybody clean through that corner. Spielman high out of turn number 2, washes up to the wall. That opens up the door. Tim Richardson taking that 3rd position. Out front, though, Justin Mills in the 6M going to lead lap number 1. But Tim Richardson in the 5X gets a little swirly coming down there into 1 and 2. He's going to loop it around. That will bring. here as Justin Mills still leading Joel Dick and Brian Spielman in heat race as we come through to halfway. Justin Mills will take that lap. A little bit squirrely there for Tim Richards in the 5X as he gets direction as they come down one more time past the flag. Rolling through heat race number 1 in our modified division. Chinkles Gourmet Meats, modified screen flag in hand. This time by not much changing on that lap there. Justin has come to a stop up in turn number 2. Joel Dick will take the win. Followed by the 20 run to see what lines are going to work. Drew Smith, Joel Dick. Curtis making the trek down to join us here at the Speedway tonight. Behind him, Bob Chapman in the 5C. Bad Bob. By 2, side by side, down the backstretch they come, ready to unleash for our final feature here of night number 2. Joel Dick and Drew Smith. Here they go. Chris Fiddler as he's pulled back 6th in second. Brad McLeod going to run in 3rd. Mario Toniolo and Tim Richardson rounding out the top 5. And Curtis King now rounds out the top 5. Joel Dick, last week's feature winner. Drivers will bunch up. Looks like we will get ready to go back to green one more time. Definitely nose to tail on this restart. Down slow through 3 and 4. Joel Dick's bringing them through the starting grid. Green we go. Well, Mario Toniolo in that 14 car taking advantage. He is now up into that second position. Great run up through the field. Joel Dick well out front in the 09D. Drew Smith in the 86 in 3rd. Tim Richardson on his tail in that 5X looking to make the move. Curtis looked to the inside, making a run. Car doesn't seem to be set the way he would want it. A bit of a push through the corner, so we'll see if he's got something a bit different coming for next week. And Bob Chapman there in the 5C car. Joel Dick still out front here, followed by Mario Toniolo. Drew Smith, Brian Spielman now sits in that 4th position. Delaware style restart will get these guys lined up. Smith will file up beside the 14 car. I guess it's getting a little late for some folks here trying to keep things organized and sorted out. We'll get this ready to go. Mario Toniolo still second. Joel Dick still in that 1st position, just trying to get the 5X car back behind the 07 of Curtis King. Not the way we wanted to end the night here, folks. We had some good momentum going. Things were rolling along pretty good, but unfortunately, in our modified feature event. Drew Smith down to the inside of Mario Toniolo, looking to get back to that. That is going to do it.
Their way out onto the racetrack. Going to speed things up just a little bit for you. Heat race number 1. We see the 86 car of Drew Smith and the 6M of Justin Mills starting in row number 3. Row number 2 is the 5C of Bob Chapman. 5X, that is Tim Richardson. And starting on the front row for our first heat race tonight, that is the 4F of Jim Fletcher and the 43 car of Brad McLeod. A good feature last week, a good battle between the 86 and the 9D of Joel Dick, and we'll see Joel coming up in heat race number 2. But for now, Brad McLeod and Jim Fletcher are going to bring him down to the green. Jim Fletcher. It is the 86 though of Drew Smith. The 86 of Drew Smith, your current points. That's your little bit of contact there through 3 and 4. Well, Drew Smith in the 86 has now worked his way up to the front. That's going to do it for heat race number 1. Justin Mills, Joel Dick on the front row here for our Shinkles Modifieds feature event here this evening. Drew Smith, Brian Spielman, row number 2. Everybody ready to go. Green flag in the air. Gourmet Meats Modified Division. Toniolo on the front row here for heat race number 1. Well, lap number 1 in the books here. Mario Toniolo leads, as was kind of expected here tonight. Track conditions going to dry off. Mother Nature has not. Well, nights ago, yesterday, even Chatham had a whole bunch of rain racing through here. McLeod in the 43, doing well considering he's much more of a heavy track. Mario here comes home in 3rd. Followed by Bob Chapman in the 5 and Kyle Villaranda in the 11 car will come home 5th. Introductions tonight, our modified class. And I hear some hooting and hollering down here at the 50-50 booth. I'm assuming we have a winner. We got the thumbs up. Somebody is taking home $1,500. Real quick before we get through our lineup, who's the winner? Your signature, sir. What is your name? He's busy counting money.
Judge Corlett.
Congratulations. You are tonight's 50-50 winner. In front of them, the 5C of Bob Chapman.
Now 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, start your engines!
Green, green, green. We are underway here for our modified feature. Justin Mills jumps out to the earth. Chapman a little score. Of this appeal, unfortunately. That one's going to get called back. Should be a Delaware-style restart. And continue. It may have occurred on the 6M. Here in the 00 car, he brings it around. Bills, Toniolo, and Spielman, 1, 2, 3. Not quite sure what's going on at the moment here with Smith sneaking up the outside just a little bit here on that restart. Hopeful bit. And we will continue under green. Looks like he will get a push off into the pits as we run down heat race number 2. Starting at the tail, we have the 5X of Tim Richardson. Outside of him, the 5C car. That's Bob Chapman. Brad McLeod in the 40, ready to go for heat race number 2. Lajeunesse and Mills. Mills was your feature winner last week. Mills in the 6M ran away. Same in this heat race here. Good battle for second between McLeod and Lajeunesse. The bottom as he runs in second. Toniolo and Lajeunesse battle for second. Chapman comes around in 3, but he keeps it pointed in the right direction, so we'll stay green. Tim Richardson in the 5X pulls it to the infield with some smoke out of the back of that car. Third, Lajeunesse 4th, and Bob Chapman 5th. Get working on those machines for their features coming up late. Those goodies at Shinkles and Chatham. Some of the best cookies around. They're not a bake shop, but man, do they have some good cookies available at Shinkles as well. Hoping maybe somebody will watch the YouTube channel and say, hey, they talk good about our cookies, we better get him some. I always like cookies. Anyways, back to racing. One more time around before we cut him loose. Brian Spielman, Justin Mills. Justin Mills was last week's feature winner in our modified division. Clayton Smith in the 313. Brad McLeod starting from that second row. Drew Smith, Mario Toniolo. Door roof a couple weeks ago. He's had some motor issues, just can't get it worked out. So Doris looking for a good run tonight here in that 98P. Try and get his luck moving in the right direction. Mark Glassford in that 90 car, back out this season. Bob Chapman and Tate O'Leary both at the tail here. I see a couple scratch cars not making the call tonight. Jim Dale Jr., Tim Richardson not making it, but we are ready to go green. Brian Spielman, Justin Mills ready to fire it up for our modified feature. Here, caution will come out. In our modified feature, Bob Chapman around in the 5C car down there in 1 and 2. Chapman was another car here last night at practice, trying to get things shaken down just a little bit more. Hoping to get some better laps under his belt. In that as heat race number 2 heads out onto the racetrack, and we will run down this lineup for you. The 313, that is Clayton Smith. The 5C of Bob Chapman. Tim Richardson in the 5X. 28 car of Tate O'Leary. The 14 of Mario Toniolo. Brian Spielman in the 22, and it is Phil Villaranda behind the wheel of the 11 car. Spielman, Villaranda on the front row, ready to cut him loose, green flag in hand. 8 laps the distance for heat race number 2. Some issues early on as we've got one. So right front flat for Clayton Smith there on the 313 as he heads down the front stretch. He will make a right-hand turn into the pits. That will cut his heat race short.
So we will give these guys one more time around before we cut them loose. In the 14, he currently runs in second. He is out here in this heat race. Joel Dick in the 09D was also out here in heat race number, he was in heat race number 1. He is third in points. Brian Spielman is fourth. Curtis King in the 07, it's fifth in points, but he's not here tonight as we get ready to go back to green here. Villaranda and Spielman on the front row. Spielman and Villaranda, they battle down the backstretch. Down into 1 and 2, Villaranda in turn number 2. Don't believe Chapman made any contact with anybody. He just got squirrely coming out of turn number 2. Do see the driver moving around in the race car. Looks like he's trying to get the helmet off, get his gloves off. So some pretty significant damage there on the side of that 5C machine.